Hi guys, and welcome back to another video of the things I don't like about my Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV. I already have a detailed video on it. I posted another one as a follow-up, which I have removed from the channel because I wasn't going to make 3 videos on it just because I forgot to mention a few things. So I'm going to replace the second one with this. Let's get started. So the first one would be the driver memory seats. And this feature usually links not just the seats, but also the side view mirrors. If you have that feature, you will see 2 buttons over here for driver 1 and driver 2, because a new car comes with 2 key fobs for driver 1 and 2. So if you have 2 drivers in the household, they can each have their settings for the side view mirrors, for the side mirrors and the seats, and when they get in the car using their key, the car will detect which key is being used and bring the seat and the side mirrors to that position. Now, because we don't have this feature, I really don't have too much of a problem because I'm the only driver in the household. But imagine if you have one car, such as this one, and multiple drivers. Now each driver will have to get in the car and set the side view mirrors and the seat, the driver's seat, every single time. That can be very frustrating, which I think is a major omission at this price point of almost $60,000. Next are the seats. I do not like them. They are not comfortable and they lack lumbar support, which is almost essential in this day and age, and especially, like I said, at this price point. As you can see, I use back support because I do have lower back problems, and the first week of using it, it got aggravated, and that's when I decided to put one of these in. So if you're somebody who experiences lower back problem driving this car, it's because of lack of lumbar support, and just because the seats are not really that great. So you might want to get one of these. The next one is the lack of parking sensors. Now, you may think that you have backup camera and surround view, so you may not want these. But no, backup camera is not a replacement for parking sensors. That's probably what the designers at Mitsubishi thought, that, you know what, you don't need parking sensors because you're providing them with a backup camera. Not true. What happens when you drive in a country like Canada in winter and your camera is covered with dirt and snow and you can't see anything when you're backing up? That's when a parking sensor or parking sensors will come in handy. Usually you will see round objects here in the bumper, and they're basically I'll insert a picture here showing what the parking sensors look like. Doesn't have to be a Mitsubishi. I'll take any random picture from the internet showing what the parking sensors look like, and this is what they look like. Yeah, so if you see this on a car, it means that the car has parking sensors. I might get them installed. I mean, you can always get them installed aftermarket. I just feel they don't look that great, and they're not as better integrated. Like, I mean, yeah, they can do a nice installation and maybe like put a light inside, but it's gonna stick out off somewhere. But it's not gonna have that integrated look and feel in the infotainment system, like, you know, when you back up your camera, at the same time, if there's anything, you're getting close to an object, it's going to show you in that image. That's not going to happen, so it's not integrated. So that's why I don't like doing aftermarket stuff. So I don't know, I haven't decided yet. So that's another one. And yeah, so the last one would be the Bluetooth audio system. I'm sorry, the Bluetooth system in the car. Not always. Sometimes I've noticed when I'm driving and if I want to play music, let's say on the phone, and my Android Auto is running. I'm not sure if this is a problem with the Apple CarPlay, but it is with Android Auto. And again, not all the time. It sometimes happens, and I don't know what that specific scenario is. But what happens is, and you know what? At the time of recording this video, I tried to replicate that, and I couldn't. So I don't know what that particular scenario is, but it's happened to me a few times where I'm trying to play something. And this car, like I said, it's the GT, so it has the Rockford Fosgate premium audio system, and it's a decent sound system, so I want to use it and listen to it. But what happens is the sound only comes out of this one speaker on this side, on the driver's side, not through the audio system of the car. Like, no, it doesn't. And when you try to like put the volume up or down, it only uses the guidance volume, the one that you would use for navigation. So if the people who have this car would know what I'm talking about. So when you're actually listening to music, let's say through Bluetooth, and you want to change your volume, you'll see like the volume go from 0 to 30, or is it 40? Anyways, and the navigation volume goes up to 11. So when my phone is plugged in for Android Auto and I'm trying to listen to something, it only uses that one speaker, and the volume goes only up to like 11 because it's using that navigation volume, the guidance volume. But if my phone is plugged, if it's not plugged in, and then I'm playing something, and then it works just fine. Also, sometimes I've noticed that let's say you're playing something, it will not automatically pick up Bluetooth audio. You actually have to come into the menu and press Bluetooth audio, and then it will connect. I mean, that could be a scenario where probably previously I had like press this button and shut off the volume, like audio off, like it says right now. And maybe that's why when I turn the car on and I see this screen, but the volume is turned off. So I have to manually like say Bluetooth audio. But again, I feel that when you get in the car, it should just automatically connect to it, and you shouldn't have to like turn it on separately. Lastly, it's this one is more of a nice to have. So it would have been nice, and hopefully they can put this in future generations, to have a head-up display to basically give you all this information about, like, so how we have this screen showing the energy flow. I mean, it doesn't have to be this big, but just like they have a smaller version of it in the gauge cluster right here. There you go. By the way, 15 degrees today. Great temperature here in the Toronto area. We had a lovely day. Went out. It was nice and warm. It went up to 19 degrees today. So, had a great day. Anyways, so, speaking of the gauge cluster, so when I come to this screen, I can see my EV cruising range. I can see what my total cruising range is. I can see the energy flow. So I don't need this in the middle. But if I'm using my maps here, let's say Android Auto, and I'm navigating somewhere, now I can't see the screen. Should I not be able to see all this over here? Sure, I see this graphic right here, which shows me the energy flow. Sure, I have a graphical representation of how much battery I have left, but it doesn't show me the EV range. Why couldn't they just put like digits in here, like in white, showing the actual number of kilometers I have remaining? I mean, they could have done it. It's just like it's a digital cluster. They could have like maybe reduced these to make space for for this. This right here. This is just a horizontal line showing what your current fuel economy is. So why couldn't we include this and this along with just digital representation of how many kilometers we have? And so I feel that previous screen that I showed you of the fuel economy, like how many liters per 100 kilometers you're using up, that could have gone somewhere here, right? And we already have your fuel, so it could have said like your kilometers, estimated kilometers remaining here somewhere, or even in the center here somewhere, and your EV range here. So you have everything at a glance You know what your energy flow is. You know what your, if they put it here, what your current mileage is in terms of liters per 100 kilometers, and you know how many kilometers you have remaining. For now, if I'm not using Android Auto, what I have to do is I have to keep this screen here so I know what my mileage is current, and for the rest of the information I have to see here. This car does make you do that. It makes you a better driver in terms of fuel efficiency, and you want to monitor this. I mean, yeah, obviously I'm paying attention to the road, but then I also want to see this and this, and it would have been nice to basically be able to see all of this in one place. Now, a solution to that would be, because we have analog clusters here for the speedometer and the left one for the power. If they move to an LCD, like a digital panel, like all of it, like the like most modern cars nowadays, like usually high end, that could solve the problem. I know it's a narrow car, so they don't have enough real estate here to put everything in there. But again, like, there's so much bad design gone into this car. I mean, I'm pretty sure even with this real estate, they could have done better. But I mean, it's a nice to have a LCD digital cluster here, and if not, then maybe a head-up display or both. But then these are like the digital cluster would be a nice to have. The head-up display would be a nice to have. But this, I think, is a missed opportunity. Like, this, I feel, is essential. Like, all your efficiency information should be on one screen. You shouldn't have to toggle between different screen and cycle through the menu because you can't go back and forth just to see what you want to see. So now, this actually completes the video. And there's nothing else I can think of. And if you have anything else to add, please let me know in the comments below. And thank you for watching.